Hello, my fellow headbanging tankers. It has been officially announced, not on a stream, but in a trailer, that Kiss will be the lead act for Metal Fest 2025. And I bet you're wondering, hey, that's nothing to do with Kiss. Where is Kiss? I don't have the trailer because I don't have the setup for that. And that's a TA to V because we need to talk metal. Because I know some of you will be like, what is Kiss doing in Metal Fest? Well, I called it. I was right. But I also realized, like, yeah, let's talk about a band I would like to see in Metal Fest. And I think we could agree. We'll get into history. But first, the TA2BV is the tank that I believe is featured in Slaughter to Prevail's Baba Yaga. And so this is me kitting it out in what the best I can do as for my Slaughter to Prevail tank. Enjoy. Now, Kiss might be controversial because I know a lot of us grew up listening to it on the radio, despite some of our parents actually having the records yet never playing them. Something about not wanting to wear them out. I don't know. Or having needs to sell the record player. I don't know. But, yes. Kiss, from the American perspective, is more of a... You wouldn't necessarily raise your devil horns up, although Gene Simmons did try to sue Dio because they said that they came up with the devil horns first because it was on one of their albums, and Dio was like using a lot, and it was one of those. It was Kiss like money, okay? So, first things first, I'm surprised it took this long. Because Kiss, who will put their band name, and faces on, condoms, and a coffin, which, actually I can't remember which, was it Vinnie Paul? I don't know. One of the Abbott brothers, the founding members of Pantera, bought that coffin. And, speaking of Pantera, hugely influenced by Kiss, along with, Scott Ian of Anthrax. So, Kiss and Alice Cooper, to American heavy metal heads, are what Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden are. Although, granted, in those, 70s, Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden were part of the new wave of British heavy metal, so they're all family, alright? Also, it's really hard coming up with this thing, because turns out, not a lot of as aggressive inscriptions as I thought there would be. So I had to make do, and kind of, you gotta think a little bit. Like, this inscription has the word prevail in it. Boom. And trying to make it kind of Russian-esque, but yeah. Oh, and as for the Christmas, the holiday camo, I ran out of vouchers. Let it go. I'll get another one, alright? It's fine. So, that's why I'm absolutely fine with Kiss. Although, bringing up Slaughter Prevail, it would have been nice for a more modern-ish heavy metal band. I know. Slayer! That's my metal stream. Sorry if you blew out your speakers on that. I have a high pitch Mario and a lower, so I'm less bass. We all want Slayer. We're not getting Slayer. Too aggressive, along with Slaughter Prevail, along with, oh my god, Lorna Shore. Really, are any of you young enough to know what Lorna Shore is? Because I also feel like, not to sound ageist, but how many of you like dad rock? Because we're going to yacht rock territory now. Woo! I know, War Machine, really? We should have gone War Machine, but whatever, you gotta go with the hits. And I accept this because Kiss is part of heavy metal history. They were probably one of the beginning heavy metal. I'll go, it would have been cool if we'd have had Alice Cooper and Kiss, because it was really their stage performances that were highly influential on the following heavy metal bands. Seriously, if you look at any black metal band, and the Corpse Paint is kind of like, they've got to have an Alice Cooper album somewhere. Come on. I mean, Gene Simmons made King Diamond change his face makeup because of better lawyers. So, although, King Diamond also would have fit nicely. Oh my god, that would have been a hell of a trio. Alice Cooper, Kiss, and King Diamond? Oh, at least King Diamond definitely would have brought the metal. He was definitely very popular in the metal scene in the 80s. Well, not hugely popular, like radio popular, but again, another highly influential act from the 70s and 80s. And so, comment down below. Like and subscribe if you raise the horns every night to relaxing sounds of, oh, I don't know, obviously Slayer. Oh, just to keep it highly aggressive, but also dated. And for any Australians out there, I'll go the industrial grindcore band, because I do consider grindcore metal. We will not debate this. Just because it's fast, maybe too fast, it's still metal. I'll bring up the Berserker, highly popular in the early 2000s, late 90s, but not so much now. Look them up, kids. Good luck understanding. But hey, if you like Lorna Shore, you're like, all right. Yeah, comment down below. What heavy metal act were you hoping for this year? And call you up the elder you respect and chit chat with them, because this is certainly going to be a metal fest about respecting the heritage of heavy metal. Let's not look into the whole trying to make as much money off of our band name as we possibly can. But then again, if you grew up in hard times and you find a modicum of success, you may start thinking about retirement well before you are retirement age. In between the supposed plethora of female accompaniment. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Whatever Gene Simmons is like, you think you really got that? Respect your elders. Respect your elders. Okay. Respect your elders. Men showed up for the music. Women showed up for the tongue. Okay. Now back to Slaughter to Prevail. TA to BV. I think I'll just dub this the Baba Yaga. I'm simple like that. I keep everything simple. Now, I was just like, we don't really have overly awesome camos per se. So, and I also wanted to keep this as close to the music video. So I was like, all right, we'll just keep the regular color, keep it simple. We'll use what we can, and that's about it. Because there's not much I can do. I can just make the appearance of it. So, I guess the real question is, how do you feel, chat, about this announcement we will be getting? And I will try to work in my thoughts on the overall package, because we will be getting 4 3D commanders, 4 premium tanks. Look, I'm hoping for a 50-50 World War II and Cold War. We shall see. But August 26th, for any fellow Helldivers, is a really insanely popular date. Next Tuesday. Oh, what the hell else is coming out next week? Jesus. Poorly timed, World Digs Mon Armor. Xbox players will now have access to Helldivers 2. There's an ODST themed Warbond coming out. Halo is coming to Helldivers 2. So, yeah. I don't even know if I'm going to be making content. I just might be diving at the lower levels. My God, I might not swear a lot in that. So, I will try to do a video break with my thoughts on what I think of Modern Armor's Metal Fest 2025 package. It's Kiss. I don't know. I think last year's Ultimate package was like 55,000 gold. I can... Because of Kiss and how they're not as popular. Some may say not even relevant, but you know, yacht rock, it's just there. And sometimes it just pops up and haunts you. So it could still be around that price, but again, 4 premium tanks, 4 3D commanders. Oh, the potential there to say 85. Ooh, ballpark guess here. All right, Bob Barker. What do I want to go with? In my mind, and I could be too conservative. 85,000 gold overall, because there's probably going to be a cut for 2D commanders. What's the usual, like maybe 4 inscriptions? Then that could be multiplied because they'll have inscriptions emblems for each of the band members. But who the hell wants the cat? Who wants to be the drummer from Kiss? And if I had an editor, I'd put that Family Guy reference in. Seriously? All right, whatever. As long as the demon looks good and at least on par with WCW's Kiss Demon, we're all right. We're all right. But yeah, when I saw they were doing 3D commanders and 4 tanks, I was like, 55,000. It ain't gonna. I don't. And oh, what if we get VO? VO. Oof. I know they've been listening to us, and maybe when it comes to the game and playing the game, they're like, we hear you. They have not put in any updates. There's no doc of that. Find out tomorrow. So all we have is just this trailer. So I think low end, 85,000 gold for the ultimate package. Could honestly see, well, be with the 30% off. Also, okay, hold on. I'm putting in a flag because Slaughter to Prevail has a song called Viking. So I'm going with one of the Viking flags from a previous op. I know, Cold War and flags. It's a video game, and sometimes you have to have fun, all right? And I didn't have much to work with in trying to make the Baba Yaga tank. At least last year's emblem for Metal Fest 2024 looks a lot like Alex Terrible's mask. That's why I was kind of like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, is this a hint for next year? No, it was not. Okay? So, with that said, 30% off, 90,000. I kind of feel like I got to throw an odd number out there, 93,000. So, low end, 85,000 gold, high end, 93,000 gold. Find out maybe tomorrow. But anyway, comment down below. Are you excited for respecting your elders and one of the founding bands of the genre of heavy metal? Or are you going to go out on your little canoe and just jam out to Kiss with a cool 6-pack? I don't know, but I hope you keep your tracks on the ground, RNG's in your favor, and raise the horns up and keep on headbanging. And also keep the ibuprofen cold express. Have a good one.